Imagine handing a live microphone to your closest friends and bitter rivals and sitting quietly while they tear your life apart on live television. Most celebrities spend millions building a fortress around their image to prevent this kind of exposure. Kevin Hart willingly walked right into the crosshairs. In May 2026, Netflix aired The Roast of Kevin Hart. With comedian Shane Gillis hosting the carnage at the Kia Forum, the night quickly abandoned the boundaries of a standard comedy show. It functioned more like a brutal public reckoning. To understand why, you have to look at the gap between Hart's professional dominance and his personal history. He is a universally successful comedy titan, packing stadiums and anchoring billion-dollar movie franchises. But he also carries unresolved, highly publicized baggage, most notably a severe 2017 extortion scandal that deeply fractured his family man image. Before we look at how those two worlds collided on stage, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are going to break down whether this 3-hour event was an earnest celebration of a comedian's career or a highly calculated PR execution. In the modern fame economy, the public will inevitably find your weak spots. The only way to achieve true invulnerability is to survive your own public destruction. The event operated in waves. The first wave hit the easiest targets, Hart's famously short physical stature and the massive, sometimes critically panned volume of his professional output. NFL icon Tom Brady set the tone immediately. Standing at the podium, he held up a tiny custom Knicks jersey for the comedian, declaring he had bought it in newborn size. The professional critique quickly escalated musically. Usher stepped up and repurposed the lyrics to his hit single Let It Burn, singing directly to Hart about his recent stand-up specials. The revised lyrics bluntly stated that watching Hart's latest hour contained not a single funny part. Then came the heavy hitters. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made a stadium-shaking entrance to Queen's We Will Rock You. His presence wasn't random. The two actors were actively leveraging the massive viewership to cross-promote their upcoming 2026 holiday release, Jumanji: Open World. Short jokes and movie plugs are standard fare. These professional jabs were a calculated warm-up, designed to get the audience laughing and lower everyone's guard before the roasters introduced the actual damage. The second front abandoned the safety of box office numbers and pivoted aggressively into Hart's darkest personal controversies. The jokes shifted from his height to his marriage. Tom Brady completely shocked the room when he looked past the guest of honor and began openly flirting with Hart's wife, Eniko, from the stage. By acknowledging her, Brady was weaponizing Hart's heavily publicized history of infidelity directly to his face. To understand the gravity of that moment, we have to look back to August 2017. While Eniko was pregnant with their first child, Hart was secretly recorded in a Las Vegas hotel room with a woman named Montia Sabag. That footage became the center of a severe extortion attempt. Instead of paying, Hart chose to release an emotional public apology video on Instagram, confessing to a massive error in judgment. The ensuing lawsuits and tabloids battered his public standing for years. Bringing that night in Vegas up in a comedy venue serves a distinct purpose. When you allow your darkest, near-career-ending scandal to be used as a punchline on a global broadcast, you drain the toxicity out of it. You strip the remaining leverage away from anyone trying to hold it against you. But the most potent attack of the night wasn't about Vegas. It was the unannounced arrival of the third front, Hart's sworn vocal comedy nemesis, Katt Williams. This timeline chart maps out a bitter decade of escalating conflict between the two men. The friction began in the late 2000s, when Williams publicly claimed Hart was accepting studio roles, like in the 2008 movie Fool's Gold, that had originally been offered to him. The resentment peaked dramatically in 2024. During a wildly viral appearance on the Club Shay Shay podcast, Williams took direct aim at Hart's legitimacy, branding him an industry plant and a puppet who had never truly earned his sold-out arenas. Standing at the roast podium, Williams didn't pull his punches. He targeted Hart's lucrative, highly controversial appearances at the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia, joking that he only showed up because it was the only festival left with a soul. Handing a live microphone to a historically hostile critic gambles an entire reputation on the hope that proximity can dissolve a decade of public resentment. After hours of sitting quietly and absorbing every blow, Kevin Hart finally took the microphone. The audience braced for a brutal retaliation, especially aimed at Williams. Instead, Hart completely subverted the room's expectations. He told the crowd that he was a fan of Williams first, and rather than firing back with easy insults about Williams' past, Hart offered him a genuine verbal olive branch of peace. The night culminated with Williams walking across the stage to shake Hart's hand and pull him into an embrace. On live television, they effectively ended a decade-long comedy Cold War. In 90 minutes of airtime, Hart promoted his upcoming blockbusters, drained the toxicity from his scandal, and pivoted his loudest detractor into a public ally, all on his own terms. By sitting in the fire and inviting the world to laugh at his worst moments, Kevin Hart proved a harsh reality of modern fame. Owning your narrative, even the ugliest parts, is the only way to permanently control